Hello humans, this is Jason, and thank you for joining us for the 7th of Ladanta Rouge's 32-part documentary series, The Kaposo War. This evening we visit the Battle of the Standing Stones, an often overlooked skirmish between small contingents of the Banuloi and Fiuloi forces. Here, a letter from one of the combatants.
Dearest Kara, this war has been hard on all of us. I'm so sick and tired that even my accent has gone wonky. I do hope to come home to you soon. We will be scouting the old standing stones tomorrow, and then I shall return to claim my inheritance and meet my new son. This mission is dangerous, but our captain is good and assures us that we shall prevail. Love always, Motonto.
Hello humans, this is Jason, and today I'm playing Knyghte, Pyke and Sworde by Nordic Weasel Games. This is billed as a medieval mass skirmish game, in that it's not about big armies, but it's also not about just 5 guys with swords and murderous intent. You might conceivably have 20 or 30 figures on each side. My medieval collection is pretty sparse, however, so I'll be playing with fewer. I've wasted enough of your time with that silly intro, so let's get to it. This is the blue force, which I'm calling the Bonuloi. They consist of a unit of chargers, the captain of course, a unit of polearms, and a unit of missiles. Hey look, there's Motonto. The red force is the Fiuloi. They also have chargers, polearms, missiles, and a captain, but a scout as well. The Fiuloi captain isn't as good a warrior as the Bonuloi captain, so the extra unit balances out, points-wise. Every turn I roll a d6 for each side. The Bonuloi rolled higher, so they'll go first, and then activations alternate. The Bonuloi chargers will run, moving up to 1.5 times their speed in inches. Because this is a group, running will exhaust them. The Fiuloi respond by having their missile troops run as well. Then the Bonuloi missiles run. I probably should have had everybody start closer. It's in the rules. I just forgot a lot of rules. The Fiuloi run their scout, but as an individual, he's not exhausted by running. Scouts don't have any special abilities, but since you can't pass on your turn, having these cheap units gives you something less important to move when you want to wait to see what the enemy is going to do. And the Bonuloi spearmen also run and are exhausted. Then the Fiuloi spears run. Just to be clear, I was supposed to start 18 inches apart. This slow start is all me. So, sorry about that. The Bonuloi captain runs, and as an individual, he is also not exhausted. And the Fiuloi captain does the same thing. The Bonuloi are out of units, so the Fiuloi get to go again. Their chargers run up and are exhausted. And that ends the first turn. The activation tokens are removed, and the Bonuloi get the initiative. The Bonuloi spearmen want to climb this hill, but it's very steep and is thus bad going. I roll a die for each figure, and if I roll a 1, the figure's move ends. But luckily, there are no problems, and all 3 climb the hill. Note that they couldn't run this time because they were exhausted, and having finished their turn without exhausting themselves again, their exhausted status is removed. The Fiuloi spearmen advance to behind this tree, and then the Bonuloi captain runs toward the front, going half speed over the difficult terrain. And now it's the Fiuloi missiles' turn. They advance on the steep hill and try to climb it. Whoops. Okay, now the Bonuloi chargers advance. Now here's something new. The captains have points of charisma that they can spend on nearby figures. The Fiuloi captain will spend a point to give that clumsy missile trooper another move. And then he'll complete his action by running up here. The Bonuloi spears continue their advance, as do the Fiuloi chargers. The Fiuloi still have an extra guy, so they have their scouts sneak around the back. That's the end of turn 2, so we clean up the markers and start turn 3. The Fiuloi get the initiative, and the captain will spend another point of charisma to give this missile unit an order to shoot, targeting these chargers. The targets are in the open, so I need a 5 or better on a d6. And I got a 2. Even with the +1 from the charisma order, that's a miss. Normally this would use up ammunition, but because it's a special order given from the captain, it doesn't. And then the captain finishes his action, moving behind this wall. Then the Bonuloi chargers charge. Now, you're supposed to move them into base contact, but I forgot what game I was playing, so just pretend like they're in base contact. The captain rolls a 4, +1 for his fighting skill, and plus another 1 for defending the wall. When a charger starts a fight, its special ability allows it to roll 2 dice and keep the higher. So that's 6 for one charger, and 5 for the other. Comparing the results, the Captain's 6 beats the Charger's 5, so the Charger is struck. I roll 2 dice for damage, trying to get over the target's armor on each. I roll 2 3s, each over his armor of 2, so it's a knockout. The other 2 combatants tie, and so take glancing blows and are pushed back. A glancing blow is just 1 die of damage, and they both fail to penetrate the armor. The Chargers are marked as exhausted, and it's the Fueloy's turn. They'll activate these archers, and one will attack the Chargers, missed, and the other 2 will attack the Spearmen, miss, miss. This was a normal archery action, so it'll cost them 1 of the 3 ammo, which I'll mark with this cute little die. Now the Spearmen are having none of it, so they advance on the archers. The Fueloi continue their assault by having their Spearmen charge into base contact, don't judge me, with this Charger. Only one Spearman can actually reach though, and he gets a 3. The Charger's special ability doesn't work when he's defending, so he only gets 1 die. But it's a 6. That's a critical hit. For damage he rolls 2 6s and a 4. That guy is definitely dead. And then it's back to the Bonuloi. I'll mark them as activated, and these archers will take shots at these Spearmen, wounding one and knocking out the other. And they've spent 1 ammunition. Losing 2 guys at once triggers a morale check for the Fueloi. They pass on 1 die, so they only run away, but aren't routed. The Fueloi archers then successfully test to climb the hill. That leaves the Bonuloi captain, who will spend a point of charisma to have this missile shoot the other captain. But he misses, so the captain just runs forward. Oops, I forgot about this sneaky scout over here. He climbs the hill successfully, and that's the end of turn 3. Poof go the markers, and we start turn 4, with the Fueloi winning initiative again. They'll activate their archers. They can turn in place when they do this, and shoot these Spearmen, but they miss. The Bonuloi activate their captain, who uses a point of charisma to have this Charger charge the Fueloi captain. Chargers roll 2 dice and keep 1 when starting a fight, but not when exhausted. But I'm a cheater who can't remember rules, so I'm doing it anyway. That gives me 5 plus 1 for the charisma point, versus the captain's 3 plus 1 for his fighting skill. That's a hit. The Charger rolls 2 6s for damage, and the Fueloi captain is definitely knocked out. This triggers a morale check for allies within 8 inches, but luckily for them, sort of, that's nobody. The Bonuloi captain still has to finish his move, and he'll head up the hill looking for a fight. This part isn't dangerous, but it is rough, and he's slowed down to half speed. Then the Fueloi Chargers rush up behind the Bonuloi spears. It's a bloody fight, and poor Mortanto is slain. Who could have seen this coming? No one, that's who. Another of the Bonuloi is injured and pushed back, but the 3rd Spearman wounds one of the Fueloi. On their turn, the Bonuloi respond in kind, denying the Chargers their double dice advantage. Down goes a Charger, but also a Spearman. Now, since both sides had 2 casualties, that means they both need to check morale. The Fueloi Chargers only get 1 success, so they run away. The Bonuloi Spearmen fail both and rout. Then the wounded Fueloi Spearman finds his spine and heads back toward the fight. Now with a fresh target, the Bonuloi missiles are activated to fire at the wounded Spearmen, but all 3 miss, wasting ammunition. Next, the Fueloi scout comes sneaking down the hill to backstab the Bonuloi archer. Backstab isn't a thing, but come on, just look at the guy. I roll the dice, and it's tie, which means they both take glancing blows and are pushed back. A glancing blow is just 1 damage die, so the worst it can do is a wound, and with a 6 each, that's what it does. Finally, these Chargers advance on the wounded figure, but don't enter combat, because I don't want the exhaustion penalty. And that's the end of turn 4, bloop! And now let's start turn 5. The Fueloi get the initiative again, and decide to waste it on this wounded Spearman. He throws himself into a fight with this Charger, but loses. He only takes another wound, but 2 wounds is a KO, and he's slain. On the Bonuloi turn, the missile troops all turn around and feather the scout. They get 2 hits, and one of them wounds, which is enough to KO him. And now it's the Fueloi's turn again. Now I forgot that these Chargers are supposed to be exhausted, so let's fix that. And again, I don't feel like having them attack while they're exhausted, so I'm just going to get them in close. Then the Bonuloi Chargers move, but they can't reach anybody, so no big deal. The Fiuloi archers shoot at the chargers, but miss. Then the Bonuloi captain uses his last point of charisma to give one of his archers another shot at the chargers. It's close, but it's a hit, and it KOs another charger. The captain finishes his turn by moving up to attack the Fiuloi archer, but gets his head handed to him by a noob. Still, it's only a flesh wound. And that's game. The Valkyries come to claim the dead, and I do some math, and the Bonuloi win, 40-29, but that won't mean anything to Mortonto's poor widow. Thank you, everybody. I hope you were able to follow all of this. This took me so long that the game actually received a major update since I started it, but the core things are the same. Ci la revido.